Welcome back again to Jim Johnston Reviews the World, where it's my channel, so I'll do whatever the heck I want. Today, lentils, the slow cooker way, here on Cook It and Eat It. Today we're making slow cooked lentils, also known as lentil soup. Now I've taken the liberty of washing, rinsing these lentils multiple times, and I also soaked them for about 2 hours, a little pre-soak in room temperature filtered water. So we're ready to go. We're gonna put this on low, and we're gonna cook this all in all for about 24 hours. This is a real slow recipe. I do all my beans and lentils for about a day. Black beans I actually have done for up to two days in the past, and they came out amazing. So what you're gonna need is a 1 pound package of lentils, washed, sorted, and pre-soaked like I mentioned. Then I've got 6 green onions, sliced into rings. We're gonna put that in. You could also use a large white onion or a sweet onion. I just decided that I wanted to do green onions this time. I haven't done that in a while. We're going to go in with about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or as I like to call it, W sauce, as in works in almost everything. About 20 drops of liquid smoke. Well, some of those were more than drops, so we'll call that good. And then I have seasoning here, pre-measured up. And that was a mixture of a teaspoon each. Seasoned salt, parsley, oregano, basil, teaspoon and a half, garlic powder. That was all I had left. Otherwise I would have put in 2. Cilantro leaves, seasoned salt, lemon pepper, black pepper, and crushed red pepper for heat. Now, you could use a tablespoon of lemon juice or lime juice, and then a teaspoon and a half of pepper, but I don't have any lemon juice, so we went with the lemon pepper seasoning. Additionally, we're going to put in about 2 cups of homemade chicken broth. Oh, and let's not forget 2 large bay leaves. That's probably closer to 2.5, but that's all right. I'm going to top it off with filtered water. And you want to go to within about 1 inch of the top. Actually, about 1.5 inches from the top. Right there. That's good. Okay, now that we got all our ingredients in, we're going to give it a quick stir. And we're going to put our lid on. And we're going to let this go on low overnight. So at least 8 hours, up to 10 to 12. And then we'll be back to check on it in the morning. Low and slow wins the race. Good morning, Cook It and Eat It world. Today we're making lentils, and it's a full day project to do them the way that I like to do them. Low and slow. All right, this thing's been going on for about 13 hours now. So we're gonna open her up. And I have given her a stir before this, when I first woke up this morning. I'm gonna give her a stir, see how it's looking. Looking pretty good. Lentils are cooking, looks like onions have broke down a bit. So at this point, it's been a while. For some of you, you might consider this done at this point, but like I said, I like to cook this so that these lentils start to give up more of their starches, break down a little bit, and so this whole thing becomes more of a sauce. So I'm making this to put over rice, a rice topper, and so I want it to break down a little more and kind of thicken up a bit. So that's why we're going to cook it for another 8 to 10 hours today. But right now, I'm going to get a little bit, if I can. This is kind of a weird shaped spoon, but I do want to get a little bit and let it cool off for a minute and give it a taste. I don't really want the onions. I mostly want the broth. Check that out. I'm going to let this cool off for a minute, and I'll be right back to give you a little taste test and decide how I want to augment the flavors. So I've let this little bit of it cool for just a minute, and now I'm gonna taste it. I'm just gonna drink it. So the lentils are still a bit on the al dente side. Onions too. I want those onions to break down more too. So we definitely want to let this cook a while longer. What does it need? What does it need? Plenty of salt, plenty of heat. That crushed red pepper flake did enough. I think I'm gonna add about another half teaspoon of lemon pepper just to get a little more citrus in there. Do that. And then I'm going to put the rest of this cilantro I have. Feels like it needs a little bit more herby. So this is about another teaspoon of cilantro. A teaspoon and a half. Look like less in the package. And you know what? I'm going to go in with about a half teaspoon, good healthy shake of Southwest seasoning blend. And just a pinch or a single shake of ground ginger. And about another half teaspoon of basil leaf. There we go. Get all that herbage in there. Now that'll take a while to soak up the moisture and cook down in. But I wanted a little more aroma, fragrance, if you will, from the herbal notes. I'm gonna let this cook for another couple hours. Let those new herbs do their thing, and we'll be back with you this afternoon. Hey, this thing, lentil soup, been boiling away all day, and now we're ready to give it another look. Smells great. Really, really smells great. So we're pretty much there. Probably give it another half hour, maybe up to an hour if so since it's almost done, we got to add just a couple finishing touches. We're going to add about a medium spoonful of stevia sweetener, and also about a half tablespoon of butter. All right, at this point we can also get rid of these bay leaves. They have served their purpose. All right. About another half hour, we'll get a bowl of rice, and we'll be ready to eat. Thank you for sticking with me on this 24-hour journey, and we'll be right back to finish it off. All right, here we go. Finally coming to the end of this long and winding road for lentil soup / lentil sauce. I said low and slow is the way to go with all beans and legumes. And so you want to cook them for around about 24 hours, sometimes even more. These have been going for about 23 and a half hours, so actually just a little bit short. So all right, I got a bowl of brown rice here with a little bit of seasoning already in it. And while I'm doing this, folks, if you haven't had the opportunity yet, check me out on Facebook, Jim Johnston Reviews the World, and also newly on Instagram, also Jim Johnston Reviews the World. So branding of everything is Jim Johnston Reviews the World. That makes it nice and simple. I can tell you right now, I will not be joining Twitter unless somebody offers me a big chunk of change to do it, which, let's face it, that's probably not going to happen, so we don't need to worry about that. But I will be posting production photos and links and fun stuff on Instagram and on Facebook, so go over and like those, join those, follow those, whatever they call it, for further interaction and to know what's going on with this channel should I ever miss an upload or something like that. And sometimes I upload a little bit late, especially recently. I've been having some technology issues. All right, there it is, ready to go. And let's see how it tastes. That's good lentils. Creamy. Those lentils are perfectly done at this point. Spicy. All those notes from all those herbs we put in are definitely there. And then just a small hint of sweet from that sugar we added right at the end. There's definitely some tart from the lemon. That's good. And so you can just have this over rice or noodles or eat it by itself. You can toast up a big piece of sourdough bread and put that in a bowl and put that over it. Or you can have it with shredded chicken. This is actually really good with canned chicken. If you have any canned chicken sitting around that you're having a hard time finding a use for, go ahead and break that out, open it up, drain it, put a little bit of chicken over top of your rice before you put your lentils in. That'll be good. All right. Well, there we have it. Nothing fancy at all on this one. Just takes time. A whole lot of precious time to do it right, child. To do it right, child. Well, there you have it, folks. Lentil soup and or lentil sauce, depending upon how you want to call it. Delicious over rice and many other things. Again, the key to this, I've said it a million times during this, is time. Just slow cook it forever, slow cook the bejesus out of it, and you will have a tasty, delicious, healthy, nutritious meal. I want to thank you for continuing to watch Jim Johnston Reviews the World, and this show, Cook It and Eat It. We'll see you next time, folks. Thank you again. Comment, subscribe. Please share it with your friends to help us grow the audience, because when we hit 100 viewers, folks, we're going to go live on a Thursday evening for a Q&A session. That's all I have for you this time. We'll see you again.